Hello, folks at home. Gavin McInnes here for The Rebel, and I've just drenched myself in urine in solidarity with my sister, Lauren Southern, another Rebel contributor who had pee thrown on her last Friday because she said there are only two genders, something the medical community has said for a long time. This is not an unusual sentiment, but I don't want to get into the semantics of the sentiment. It hasn't done me well in the past. I'm here to talk about the fact that you get what appears to be a Perrier bottle full of piss thrown on you for a thing, for words that come out of your mouth. This is a sentiment in Canada that Justin Trudeau is pushing. Sticks and stones may break my bones, he says, not even understanding the colloquialism, but words hurt. No, words do not hurt. Words are words, all right? You're allowed to say whatever you want, offensive, not offensive. Now, Lauren wasn't saying anything particularly controversial. In fact, she was screaming at how ridiculous it is that this has become controversial, but she got soaked. So this is last Friday. There was a libertarian who was trying to come to town to talk about smaller government. He was prevented at the border by the government. The irony was lost on all. And to add another layer to the irony, the local anarchists were there to protest the whole thing. Because if there's one thing anarchists hate, it's when you want less government. You do the math. So it's interesting watching this debate because it reminds me of when I was a young teenager and we were punk rockers fighting Nazi skinheads, and we had the sharps on our side and they had the Nazis on their side. And it was just white people fighting white people. And it wasn't about the visible minorities or the Jews or anything. They didn't even know what we were doing. It was about white people playing this stupid class game where I'm more erudite than you. I'm more educated. I know more things. And it's easy to spot for me now in retrospect, especially when I see this woman. We'll cut to the first part of the video where she just starts barfing out all these, not colloquialisms, but this special vocabulary, this Klingon, this language they made for themselves. Check this out.
I'm going to assume that you're a cisgender straight woman because you obviously
that's really true.
and that you probably haven't ever been raped. Either.
I actually identify
so
as an attack helicopter, so it's really offensive.
You sound like you're speaking from a very privileged point of view here.
You've never been raped. That's a big one too. I've been raped. Or another trick they often do is, what if your daughter was blah blah blah? They always bring your kids into it. It's all these petty little stabs. But cisgender, you're talking from a privileged point of view. She's just piling out tropes that she doesn't believe. There's no sincerity in her voice. And by the way, kudos to Lauren for maintaining it here. It's easy for me to sit in a hotel room in L.A. and say my points, but when you're confronting a whole mob and you might get piss thrown on you at any moment or bottled or something, these people are mentally ill. You have to maintain a sense of logic and a constructive argument. It's like having someone throw bowling balls at you while you're trying to write an essay. So not only am I in solidarity with her in my pee here, which, by the way, smells a lot like burnt Cheerios, I'm also in awe of her as a peer. But let's jump ahead here where she asks if she's a feminist.
So are you a feminist?
Of course not.
You're not a feminist. So feminism really is women wanting equal rights to men.
Yeah, she says feminists want equal rights to men. What the hell does that mean? I'm sorry to get into the semantics. I know I said I wouldn't, but just for a second here, modern feminism seems to be about, I want equal rights. I want the right not to be harassed and the right not to be physically harassed. First of all, men get it worse on both of those. You can't not be harassed if you're talking about rude comments online. And most of the time, those are women giving you rude comments. Secondly, physical harassment, yeah, we're against it too. We have sisters, we have daughters, we have moms. We've been against all kinds of physical harassment for a long-ass time. I don't know why you want to come in at the 11th hour and build a new system that you think we haven't been working on. There's this obsession women have in feminism where they go, we're going to make a system here. Step aside. And to me, it's like Superman coming over and going, look, I'm going to be writing from now on. I'm Clark Kent. I work at the Daily Planet. You go, yeah, I guess, and I'm happy to write with you, but aren't you also Superman? Like, can't you fly around the world? Can't you create life with your vagina, Superman? Can't you create and shape lives? Why are you so obsessed with my thing? Why do you want to be journalism? And this reminds me, by the way, of a Joseph Conrad quote. I hope I have it here. It's queer how out of touch with the truth women are. They live in a world of their own, and there's never been anything like it, and never can be. It is too beautiful altogether, and if they were to set it up, it would go to pieces before the first sunset. Some confounded act that we men have been living contentedly with ever since the day of creation would start up and knock the whole thing over. That was Joseph Conrad, and that is all over this new obsession that feminists seem to have with knocking us aside and making something way better. Anyway, let's cut right to the juice here, where Lauren gets the juice all over her head.
Sorry, guys, there's only two genders, female and male. Also,
Yeah, you're embarrassing yourself. Go home, you're drunk.
this is extremely controversial to say. Science and facts, extremely controversial.
Oh my God.
I want the car now.
Hey, easy.
World star. She is saying something totally benign, okay? She is saying words. Words can't hurt you. And the fact that you go up to a woman behind her back, throw piss on her, and then run away is a perfect example of what this is really about. This is about the left attacking people because they can. If they really cared about feminism, they'd attack those that were advocating Sharia law. No, they go after a small, frail woman, and they throw pee on her and run away. It's the same reason dogs lick their balls, because they can. Well, you can't anymore. And, you know, Lauren's a libertarian. She decided not to press charges. She's not going to call the police. That's another reason they attacked. It's the same reason that we have these shootings going on in gun-free zones. We've had enough. 2016 is the year where we're not going to take it because we're mad as hell. No, you can't attack us for saying words. And yes, we will continue to say whatever the fuck we want.